The streets of New York were bathed in lights. Raindrops lightly tapped against the glass buildings, like an old melody playing in the background. Standing on the balcony of a towering skyscraper, Cassandra Morris held a glass of wine in her hand, her eyes filled with a lost restlessness. She was a successful businesswoman, beautiful, independent, and captivating. Her confidence could make any man weak in the knees, but inside, there was an emptiness, a void that kept her awake at night. Tonight, something felt different. Someone was coming. Someone she had never truly forgotten. Below the balcony, a sleek black Maserati pulled up to the curb. The car door opened and a tall, masculine figure stepped out into the rain. Damien Black. 6 years ago, he had been the most beautiful part of her world. But one tragic incident had changed everything, and now, without warning, he was back. Damien's eyes lifted toward the balcony. He smirked slightly, as if he knew Cassandra was still his. He strode toward the entrance of the building and stepped into the elevator. Minutes later, he knocked on her door. Cassandra opened it, and for a moment, she forgot how to breathe. She didn't need to look. She could feel his presence. Those same hypnotic eyes. That dangerous smile. That unshaken confidence. Cass. His voice was deep, laced with desire. Cassandra steadied herself. "Why are you here, Damien?" He looked straight into her eyes. "You already know why." Cassandra tried to close the door, but Damien placed his strong fingers over hers. 6 years later, and you think you can just show up and take control? Damien stepped closer. His scent filled the air, intoxicating her senses. "I'm not taking control. I'm just reclaiming what was always mine." Cassandra's heartbeat quickened. Damien shut the door behind him and moved even closer. "I still want you, Cass," he murmured. Her breath hitched. "You think I'm still the same girl who would melt in your arms?" Damien smirked. "You can deny it all you want, but your body always tells the truth." His fingers grazed the inside of her thigh, and Cassandra felt her resolve slipping away. The rain outside grew heavier. Damien reached for her neck, his fingers tangling into her silky hair. "Cass?" His voice carried the same dominance it always had. Cassandra met his gaze, and the fire she had buried for years ignited once again. Slowly, she raised her fingers to his lips, tracing them softly. No questions tonight, no promises, just Damien didn't need her to finish. He pulled her into his arms, his hands firm against her back. Cassandra kicked off her high heels, pressing a hand against Damien's chest. Without hesitation, he lifted her into his arms and carried her toward the bedroom. Under the dim golden light, their bodies melted into each other. Damien's fingers trailed down her spine as he unzipped her dress, his touch sending shivers through her skin. Cassandra's hands tangled in his hair, her lips brushing against his neck. His kisses burned like wildfire, setting every inch of her on edge. He lowered her onto the bed, his body hovering over hers. "You know I never forgot you," he whispered. Cassandra locked eyes with him. "Don't lie to me, Damien. If you never forgot me, then where were you all these years?" Damien had no answer. Instead, his lips found hers, his breath warm against her throat. Their bodies intertwined, lost in a passion too powerful to resist. Outside, the storm raged on. Inside, a storm of desire consumed them. Hours later, when everything had quieted down, Cassandra lay in Damien's arms. He traced lazy circles on her bare back. "Is this our last night together?" she whispered. Damien didn't respond. His eyes held a story that remained untold. Slowly, he sat up, looking out the window. "Damien." He turned back, offering a small, bittersweet smile. I've always been yours, Cass, but we both know this love can never be complete. A single tear slipped from Cassandra's eye. Damien kissed her one last time, then stood up and walked toward the door. Cassandra watched him go, a soft, knowing smile forming on her lips. Because some love stories are never meant to be finished.